Hi, this is Shonnie Lavender, the Conscious Moms Coach, and today I want to talk about cooperation. And I want to talk about this subject because I think it's one that can trip us up as parents who are intending to parent peacefully, mindfully, intentionally, whatever word you use for this method of parenting or this way of being as a parent. I find that this idea of cooperation can be challenging. Here's the reason that I think we get challenged by it. Is when I talk to parents about cooperation, one of the things that I find is that what they notice is those times or are those times when their child is not doing what the parent has asked them to do. And so they're zeroing in on those times when the child is not cooperating with the parent's requests. Fair enough, I do that too. Now, what we don't often see, or what I don't often hear, is a parent saying, I notice that I don't often want to cooperate with my child's requests, or I don't like to do what my child is asking me to do at bedtime, or this or that. Because what the point of pain for us is, oh, family life is great until our children are not listening to us, following along what we're asking them to do, or being our partner in an agenda that we have set. So I think that's problematic because part of us as peaceful, conscious parents, we often don't like to admit that we do like to be in charge. We do like to have control. We do like things to go our way. And I think this is a really important thing to admit to ourselves because, one, if we don't admit it, we're not telling the truth. So we're deceiving ourselves. Secondly, is I find that it actually can help take the edge off. When we admit, you know what, I do like it when my child doesn't question me. I do like it when my child doesn't, negotiate back and forth with me on things. And just say, yeah, I do enjoy that. And yes, I want things to flow smoothly. Yes, I want things to be easy or happen quickly sometimes. Because when we can admit those things, then there is that part of us that can be like, oh yeah, that's where I'm at right now. This is a morning where I'm really wanting my kid to put on their shoes and just get out the door. Because when we do that, then some of the stress of, oh wait, I'm this peaceful person, and so that means I'm supposed to always just be happy-go-lucky and let things flow. And it's like, yes, and you're human. I'm human. And so we do get driven, we do get pushy, we get nervous about deadlines, we get anxious about certain things. And so I think it's really important that we admit this to ourselves, that even as conscious, peaceful parents, a part of us does want children who have that sense of obedience from the old style, like, yeah, mom said or dad said, and they do it. Now, the distinction for most of us as conscious, peaceful parents is that we don't want our child to lose their spark. We also don't want them to become, as a character trait, this obedient rule follower, yes ma'am, no ma'am type of robot. And so that is where we get sort of caught up. We're like, oh no, I don't want to do these things because I don't want my child to just be a yes sir, no sir type, or yes sir person. We really value them having their autonomy, having their voice. And so that's where, we start to feel tense around it. It's like, oh no, how can I want both? But we do, we want both and. Yes, I want my child to be receptive to my influence and respect me in terms of respecting that I have needs and I have wishes and wants and desires, so that they at least hear those, even if they're not always going to agree with them. And so I invite you to simply notice that wherever you're at on that parenting spectrum, that there is some truth to the fact that, yes, you do want to have some level of acquiescence from your child or your children. You want to have them saying yes and being your partner. And you also recognize that you do not want to parent in a way that makes that type of obedience and that willingness to just go along with any old person. You don't want that for your child. So I think that's a really important piece, and I wanted to share it with you today because, again, I see as conscious, peaceful parents, we can sort of struggle with that. It's sort of like, oh, I can't tell Shonnie that I want that because then I'm not peaceful. And it's like, no, you're human. So it's the way we do it, it's the way we go about it. And it's also the awareness that we bring to those situations. So are we coming from a place where there are some need tos and have tos? Or there are some things that really are important that we want to accomplish either ourselves or as a family, and not getting stuck in that place where just because we said it, then it has to happen. Because often as parents, we do sometimes put out these ideas that, oh, well, this thing has to happen and this needs to look like this and we need to clean up this way. And so we can put so much control, and we are then not really talking about being cooperating and working together. We're talking about somebody else being a tool for us to accomplish things in the way that we want, the things that we want. And that's different than cooperation. That's really like having a servant. And I know that's not what you want. So, except maybe on Sundays, once a month. So there's some food for thought for you today around cooperation. And as usual, I welcome your questions or comments. And so we can dialogue more about this topic and how it affects us in our family life. So thanks so much, and follow me on my YouTube channel, on Instagram, on Facebook, Shonnie Lavender Parent Coaching. You can also join my Facebook community, the Conscious Moms Circle, even if you're a dad. So you're welcome, and thanks for spending this time with me today. Bye now.